Dài lai la lai 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 Shalom. And welcome to all who are joining us, those of you who have come from a great distance, those of you who are here, those of you who have never been in a synagogue before, and those for whom it is a regular occasion. All are welcome. Today is a special day for a number of reasons. It's Shabbat. It's also Rosh Chodesh Elul, the first day of the new Jewish month of Elul, which is the month of preparation for our fall holidays, the days of awe. And of course, we're also celebrating with Lily and her family as we mark her becoming a bat mitzvah. So a few things, especially for those who are here for the first time. Having the right book is about 98% of it. So we have a lot of different sets of books back there. For the Siddur, for the prayer book, we're using the blue book. If you've not been in a synagogue before, you will probably be a little taken aback by the fact that what looks like it should be the back of the book is in fact the front of the book. The book goes the Hebrew way, which is to say from right to left instead of from left to right. So you'll get used to it, a little bit in. It'll be like you've been turning pages the Hebrew way all your life. I always like to say, English is backwards because Hebrew came first. The service is not, this is not a spectator sport. It's all about participation. So, when you know the words, sing along. The words are in transliteration, written out in the English letters in the book. And if you don't know the words and we're singing, you want to hum the tune, that's great too. It's all about being in the spirit of community and reaching out to one another and to the Holy One. In that same vein, last but not least, if you have not done so, this is the time to turn off or at least turn into airplane mode your cell phones and your electronic devices. We ask that you not take pictures during the ceremony. I'm sure Lily will smile for you afterwards. You'll get the very relieved smile afterwards. But during the service, the idea is that we really just want to be fully present in the moment and enjoy the moment and enjoy being in the presence of community with one another. So with that said, we're going to begin with the traditional song sung upon entering the synagogue, Mato Vu. It's on page 290 in your Siddur. Mato Vu, Ohalakayako, Mishnotaka, Yisrael. Mato Vu, Ohalakayako, Mishnotaka, Yisrael. Bani Verokasaka Amuitan Ashtakam and Almochaka Beyiratan Matu Ohanako Mishkanotan Yisrael. Adonai Ahamim Odbekata Umen Homishkan Dibonata Vayeshtaka Bani tefilatilecha Adonai Yisrael Elohim Erochastema Anani V'Medishem Matovu Alashayim Mishkanot Kenam Yisrael. So the first prayers we offer giving thanks in the morning are for the gifts of being awake and alive. We give thanks for our bodies, which get us here, and we give thanks for our souls, which Jewish tradition says are restored to us with the opportunity to make a fresh start every morning. So for the body on 291, and then the soul on 292. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher yitzar et hadam b'kol ma'u b'ravot nekavim nekavim chalulim chalulim. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe. With divine wisdom you have made our bodies, combining veins, arteries, and vital organs into a finely balanced network. Wondrous maker and sustainer of life, for whether them to fail, how well we are aware, we would like the strength to sustain life before you. Baruch atah Adonai, rofech basar u'machvila aso. With the soul, Elohai the Shabbat Shenatana Amitem Torani. Elohai the Shabbat Shenatana Amitem Torani. Elohai the Shabbat Shenatana Amitem Torani. Elohai Shama Shenatana Mitem Orani. Atav Atai Sartam Atai Devanami Atai Shamram Tekirti. Elohai Shama Shenatana Mitem Orani. Elohai Shama Shenatana Mitem Orani. Oz Manchan Shama Bekirvi Modani Lechanem Adonai Elohai Elohei Amotai Ve'imotai Ribon Kol HaMasim Adon Kol HaNeshamot. Elohai Shabbat Shenatana Mitem Orani. Elohai Shabbat Shenatana Mitem Orani. Baruch atah Adonai asher b'yado nefesh kol chai v'ruach kol b'sargi. So our next series of blessings, we give thanks for miracles, not the technicolor miracles of the movies, not the splitting of the Red Sea, but the daily, ordinary miracles that we're able to wake up in the morning and to open our eyes and to see and to be able to stand up straight, and all the miracles that happen every day and get us out of bed and get us here and move us through the day together. So we'll chant them in the Hebrew and in the English, starting on 293. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan l'sek b'bina b'beit yom u'beit layla. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who has given the mind the ability to distinguish day from night. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu shall be free. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who opens the eyes. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Matir Asurim. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who frees the captive. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Zokeh. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who lifts up the fallen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Haaretz Ha'amayim. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who stretches the earth over the waters. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Hameim mitzadei gamim. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who strengthens our steps. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, ma'ali sharumi. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who clothes the naked. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who gives strength. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Amavir she'ena me'enai u'pnumah me'afapai. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who gives sleep from the eyes and slumber from the eyelids. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Shasani b'tzal Elohim. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who made me in the image of God. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Shasani b'Elohim. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who has made me free. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Shasani Yisrael. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who has made me a Jew. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Ozer Yisrael B'Yikra. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who grants Israel with strength. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Ozer Yisrael B'Yikra. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who crowns Israel with splendor. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Asher Kisham Mitzvotav, V'tzivan V'asot V'divrei Torah. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to engage with words of Torah. Adonai, our God, make the words of your Torah sweet to us and to the house of Israel, your people, that we and our children may be lovers of your name and students of your Torah. Baruch atah Adonai, melamed Torah li'amo Yisrael. It's 298. These are things that are limitless, of which a person enjoys the fruit of the world, while the principle remains in the world to come, and they are honoring one's parents, engaging in deeds of compassion, arriving early for study morning and evening, dealing graciously with guests, visiting the sick, providing for the wedding couple, accompanying the dead for burial, being devoted in prayer, and making peace among people. The Talmud Torah Keneged Kulam, but the study of Torah encompasses them all. It's 299. Yikadal Yikadash Shemei Rabba. B'almad Ragur Tevyam Ikmalchute, B'chayet Olam Yom Echon, B'chayet Achol Beit Yisrael, B'adalav Zman Karev Yivru, Amen. Yesh Shmei Rabba Nevorah, Le'olam Le'omayam, Yifarat Mishtabak, Yifarat from Amit Naseh, Yitadar Yitalek also made a good shot for you. Ve'lamin Yitalek Shirat Hatus, Machata V'nachmata, Damiran B'yaman B'yameru. Yisrael Ba'Rabbanan Ba'Tamidei Mukol Tamidei Tamidei Hon, Ba'Oman Nosim Ba'Rai B'Debert Radei B'Hon Tarbiyatar, Yelahonu Lech Kon Shlo Ba'Rabbahin B'Chista Ba'Rachamim B'Chayin Arichin, V'Zvene Revichet Portan Mikadamavan V'Bishmaya V'Arav Yemeru. Amen. Yeshlom Arav V'Shemai V'Chayin Kovim V'Lenu Yisrael V'Yemeru. Amen. Say Shalom Yimromav. Yahaseh Shalom, Aleinu Yisrael, Hoyoshvei Tevel, V'yemeru. Amen. It's 301. Baruch Shamar is a blessing that introduces the second section of the service, known as Psukei D'Zimra, or the Psalms of Praise. It's a series, a collection of readings of Psalms, and they're really about gratitude. So we begin with this line that praise be the one who spoke. God spoke and the world came to be. But the rabbis remind us that we too create the worlds that we will inhabit each day with the words that we speak. So they say we should be especially careful in the morning to begin our days with words of kindness and compassion and justice. And if that's how we begin, that will be the world we inhabit. But if we begin the day with words of pettiness or cruelty or anger, then we'll live in worlds of pettiness and cruelty and anger. So just as God created this world with speech, so too do we create with the words that we speak. Page 301. Baruch Shamar V'Hayalam Baruch Baruch Shamar V'Hayalam Baruch Oseh Bereshit Baruch Omer Yosef Baruch Ozer Hayim Baruch Merachem Ha'arel Baruch Merachem Ha'abriot Baruch Shamar V'Hayalam Baruch Baruch Shamar V'Hayalam Baruch B'Shalom Sakarto B'Shalom Sakarto B'Re'ah Baruch Havad V'Kayam V'Netzach Baruch Bodeh U'Matzil Baruch Shemo Baruch Shamar V'Hayalam Baruch Shalom V'Hayalam. Source of life in the universe, one God, life of the universe, praise and glorious ruler, your name is eternal. Baruch atah Adonai, melech me'olam v'yishpachol. Psalm for the Shabbat day, page 302. Mizmor shir leyom HaShabbat, Tov Adonai, Ulezamer l'shimcha Elyon, Ulezamer l'shimcha Elyon, V'hagid b'boker hasda'an, V'emunat ha'balelot, Alei asor v'alei nabel, Alei higayon b'chinor, Mizmor shir leyom HaShabbat, Tov Adonai, Ulezamer l'shimcha Elyon, Ulezamer l'shimcha Elyon. Yismat Tani Adonai b'po'alacha, B'masei adaranen, Magadu Adonai, Me'oraku Machshevotecha, Mizmor Shir L'Yom HaShabbat, V'Odol L'Adonai, U'Lezamer L'Shimcha Elyon, U'Lezamer L'Shimcha Elyon. So Sadikat Amar Yitra, Ke'eres Ravanon Yiskas Betuvim, Beveit Adonai, Bechatzrot Eloheinu, Yamritu, Odinu B'Seira, the shame in Veranim, Yeri, Ulagi, Yashar, Suri, Suri, Ashrei Ashrei Bekacha Od Yalalucha Seva Ashrei Ashrei Ha'alo Ashrei Ha'am Shayonai Eloham Yilala David Aramim Chalohai HaMelech Avarachashim Chale Olam Va'ed V'chol Yom Avarchecha V'lalashim Chale Olam Va'ed Gadol Adonai Me'olam Ma'od, Be'ligulato Ein Chaker, Lord Adonai K'ma'am Sempam, U'urei Ha'yagir, Hadar K'vod Hodacha, V'tivrei Niflotacha Asircha, Ve'tzur Da'yoni, Zacharatu Chayabiu, V'tzikat Chayavanenu, O Adonai Lakol, V'rachamav al kol ma'asav. Kevod malchut kayomeru, Gevuracha yedaberu. Malchutcha malchut kol amim, U'memshaltecha b'chol dor v'dor. Ehene kol elecha yisaberu, V'ata noten lahem et ochlam be'ito. Tzadik Adonai b'chol dracham, v'chasid b'chol ma'asav. R'tzon Yereav Yahaseh, Yeshavatan Yishma v'yotziem. Yivat Adonai yidaber pi, v'yivarech kol b'sartam kosho le'olam va'ed. V'adam v'devarim yam, me'adam yam. Hallelujah. Page 306 is the 150th and final psalm in the book of Psalms. Kind of sums up all that we've done so far in the service too, because it's essentially a call to praise, and it says that it's our calling to sing praise to the Holy One, and not just ours, but that all of the universe, the soul of all that lives, Nishmat Kol Chai, everything, Kol Neshama Hallelujah, will sing the praise of the source of being. And if you don't know any Hebrew at all, if you think you don't know any Hebrew at all, you actually know two words. Amen, which you can say at the end of any prayer. And if you don't know the prayer, if you have no idea, how to recite any of it in Hebrew. If you say Amen at the end, that means that goes for me too, by the way. And the other Hebrew word, which is the operative one in the psalm, because it keeps coming back, is hallelujah, which is praise the Holy One. And it will keep coming back. And so this is your chance to sing in Hebrew if you've never sung in Hebrew before. The chorus is just hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Go pick it up. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, and because hallelujah, there he is. Hallelujah, 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 take our soul. Hallelujah, hallelujah, become my soul. Hallelujah, be near God. Hallelujah, 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 Nishma kol chai, Barak Hashem Adonai Eloheinu, Baruch kol basar, Tiber Terumem Zifra Malkeinu. Amen. Elohim Shira Kayam. Oh, can every creature be like the Father who rises from us in the Sasha. As the psalmist said, let my bones proclaim who is like you, Adonai. As it is said by David, bless Adonai, my soul, and all the organs of my body praise. Ha'el b'tatsumot uzeh. Page 310. Shoken ad maron ve'kadosh shemo. My beloved Avodah Tapik Yisrael, Rancher Tamal Kinu Bechodor, Vador, Yishtabah Shimcha, Ve'ah Malki. Baruch atah Adonai, El Melech Adon B'tishbachot, Elod Adon Niflot, Abocher B'Shemei Zimra, Melech Elotei Ha'olami. Page 312, and really come on up here. Okay. Yetada Shemei Rabbah. The Almighty Rocky Redavium Lich Malkute, Betayin Obion, Mekon, Ukaye, the Holy Israel, Ubisman Kandi, Vienna, Amen. Yesh me Ram and Ram, they are yes, Yeparat Vishkaman, Viparikama, Vinase, Vitadar, Vitala, Vitalal, Shemedushan, Gurdin, the Elami, Kobirkata, Shirata, Tushvekan, Rise as people, or Barku, page 313. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, yotzer oru v'rech hoshach osei shalom, u'borei haTov. Or Kadash al Sion Na'ir, or Kadash al Sion Na'ir, v'nishkat ulanu me'erachel. Baruch atah Yotzer Arav Adonai Eloheinu Hamlanu Racham Aleinu. 317. O God, inspiration and guide for all, you have spoken in 1,000 tongues for all to hear. In every land and every age, your children have heard you and imagined you in separate ways. And yet, O God, you are one unifier of humanity. We give thanks for the sages and teachers who bring us understanding of your will, the lawgivers and prophets, psalmists and sages of Israel. And joyfully we remember that from the dawn of Israel's life we return to you and find purpose. The Lord, Hashem, Leolam Ba'el, Yishen Hashekam, Agadol Adoram Sanatanu, Nagilam Benismecham, Nagilam Benismecham, Yeshua. V'haviedu, V'havim v'shalom, Meir Bagan for haaretz, Meir Bagan for the haaretz, V'toli heidu, V'toli heidu, V'toli heidu, Kom miud le'artseinu, Kom miud le'artseinu. Yeshua Ata, Uvanu B'charta Mikolam Velasho. Yeshua Ata, Uvanu B'charta Mikolam Velasho. V'keira V'shimcha Hadadu Salavana. Lodot L'Chaviyachet Chaviyavah. Baruch Adonai, Abocher V'Amo Yisrael, Ve'am. 318. Yisrael, It's 321. Sing the song of men and women, join in understanding and respect. The song of God's miracles and earth protected and cherished. A gift for our children and generations to come. The song of a lamb once ravished by war, now quiet and content. For soldiers home to leave no more. The song of a world redeemed. The song of peace. Ni hamo ni hamo Beshim Pausavaya Yahatuman Mudurinditu Adonai Lo Adonai Lo Surah Yisrael Kumanash Yisrael Good day, Yehuda Yisrael, God in my nights of Shalom, Kedosh Yisrael, Baruch Atah Rise as able. It's 322. Adonai, have my mouth made where your praise. And the kingdom I for land on night, I get me the rock. Mungkin ada mereka lain mereka yang di mereka so many no favor who masih suri so we say Decadezas de Paula, que chega marquisimo, extremaro, cagatula e adriana, de carraza ao serve amor. Adeus, cantos, dear, I even I don't know. I don't need my dear. She have a Maharat. Ani Adonai lay down. Yeah, Lord, I don't get see let's there's over doing the gig all last time. Well, that's something to do shot on my case. Because we found out when we feel William slam on my ass. Real fast, continue for a few moments silently the Hebrew or the English or your own prayers and meditations to page 334. Page 331 for Rosh Chodesh, this first day of the new month. Our God, God of our fathers and of our mothers, on this first day of the new month, be mindful of us for good, for love, for compassion, light, and peace. So, remember us for well-being. Visit us with blessing. Help us to a fuller life. $334. Sim, 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 shalom. Sim, shalom, Tova, Bracha. Sim, 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 shalom, Tova, Bracha. Even as and Barachim Gimalei, the Alako Yisrael, Amen. Birthday to your train, Kulan to death, Sim, 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 shalom, sim, shalom, Tova, Bracha. Sim, 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 shalom, Tova, Bracha. Gibor Banach Hanatat Na'aman Adonai Eloheinu Torah Chaim B'Avan Etzem Staka Ubrata V'Rata V'Chayim V'Shalom Sim 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 Shalom Sim Shalom Tova Ubrata Sim 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 Shalom Tova Ubrata B'Tovena Kalava Remechamecha Adonai Yisrael Be'oreinu B'Chosam Yishlomen Yishlomen Sim 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 Shalom Sim Shalom Tova Ubrata Sim 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 Shalom Baruch Adonai, Baruch Adamo Yisrael, Basham. Please be seated. Page 327. Oh, stay down in Roma. Hallelujah, say oh, yes. Now, oh, you speak, David. The Hebrew. Oh, say shalom, hallelujah, say shalom, Here comes the part that everybody can say. Yeah, live. So there, Kriyat Torah. The service for the reading from the Torah scroll begins page 362. Ein kamocha Elohim Adonai, v'ein k'maseh, malchutecha malchut bo'olamim, u'menshalecha b'kol or v'ador. Adonai Elohim, Adonai Adonai, Adonai Yimbo Me'olam Va'ed. Adonai Yisrael Yitei, Adonai Yivarech et Namo V'Neshamo. Adonai Ramamim, Ehiv Avirtzota et Zion, Yivnei Komot Yerushalayim, Yivnei Komot Yerushalayim. Melech el Rabbeinu, Please rise. Yision Kesetos. Yision Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Echad Eloheinu, Gadol, Adonai Kadosh Shemo. To Adonai Yitiu, the Roma Kamoyaka, The central part of the Shabbat morning service is the reading from the Torah scroll. The scroll contains the first 5 books of the Tanakh, or the Hebrew Bible: Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. And over the course of a Jewish year, we read our way through the scroll, and each year we finish and start anew. It's an ongoing cycle. And given that the Jewish New Year is exactly a month away by the Jewish calendar, that would indicate that we are toward the end of the cycle, and indeed we are. We are now working our way through the book of Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy is different from all of the other books. The other books are essentially narrated to us in the narrator's voice, and we'll get things like, "And God spoke to Moses, saying." By contrast, the book of Deuteronomy is all in Moses's voice. It is essentially one very long and eloquent farewell speech. The people have been wandering now. The 40 years have come to an end. They're right on the brink of crossing into the promised land. It's a new generation. Everybody who was 20 or older when they left Egypt has died in the desert, save for 2 people, Joshua and Caleb. So Moses is speaking to a generation that was not born into Egyptian slavery, but a generation that was born into freedom, and he's preparing them to go into the land. And it's his moment of transition. He's preparing Joshua to take over as the leader, and he's preparing the people to go from being a wandering people to being a people that has to live and govern itself in its own land. And it's a difficult and complicated transition. One of the things that you'll see in this week's portion, Re'eh, is a discussion about the needy. What happens around the needy in your land, and are there going to be needy? And maybe there are, and maybe they're not supposed to be, but maybe there are, and what if there are? And you'll hear more about that from Lily in just a few moments. So if you want to follow along in either the Hebrew or the English, this is the book in which you do that. They are in little boxes, mostly under your pews. You have to be a little flexible to get down there. So just to be, because it's a little confusing. We're not in the red book, in kind of the burgundy-ish book. Okay, we have two different. The red book is a prayer book. This is the burgundy book that says Eitz Chaim on the side of the book. That's the one. And if you are following along in the book, Lily's going to read starting on page 1077. If you're joining us perhaps streaming and you don't happen to have Eitz Chaim, you can follow along in any biblical text. It's Deuteronomy chapter 15, and we're going to be starting with verses 4 through 8. So I'd like to invite up Rose's mother.
Baruch Adonai Barak.
Baruch Adonai Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Barak Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher b'karvanu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Efes lo ki avecha elyon ki yevarecha Adonai ba'aretz asher Adonai Elohecha noten lecha nechala l'rishta. Rak im shemot tishma b'kol Adonai Elohecha lishmor la'asot et kol hamitzvot asher anochi mitzavecha bayom. Ki Adonai Elohecha kurecha ha'asher diber la v'havata goyim rabim ve'ata lo ta'avot umeshalta v'goyim rabim uvecha lo yimshovu ki yevecha evyon me'achad achika ve'achad she'arecha ve'arza asher Adonai Elohecha noten la lo t'ametz et levacha v'lo tikpos et yadcha me'achika hayavyon ki patoa tita et yadcha lo v'habet ta'avitenu dai masoru asher yetzar lo. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'ya'olam nasa b'tahenu Baruch atah Adonai noten Torah.
Amen. We're going to do a prayer for all those who are in need of healing of body, healing of soul, healing of spirit. And if you have somebody who you are holding in your heart on this day and you would like to speak the name of one or several who you are holding in prayers for healing, please raise your hand.
Sylvia Brisbane. Dennis Drew, Providence, Steve Connie. Joe Smiga, Michael Cohen. Fiona Sweeney and Shirley Chikora.
Art Shapiro. Nancy Benoit.
Misha Bayrak, a prayer for healing. It's in the middle of page 371. Rhoda's got to lead us. Good. Back to you. Healing be with all who are in need. We're switching back books again. Back in Eitz Chaim, we're going to pick up with verse 9. Ta'amod Livia bat Chaim v'marto abakara bat mitzvah.
Baruch Adonai Hamorah. Baruch Adonai Hamorah Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'Torah. Amen. Amen. Hishamer Lecha Peniel Divai In Levavecha Vilial Lemor Arbat Shana Hasheva Shana Hashmita Vira'a Einka Ve'afika Hayavion Vilo Titeng Lo Vikara Alecha El Adonai Vechaya Vecha Hey Naton Titeng Lo Vilo Yera Livaka V'ticha Lo Ki Biglo Kadavar Kazeh Yevarecha Adonai Elohecha B'kol ma'asecha u'kol mishlach yadecha Ki lo yechal evyon mekeret ha'aretz al ken Anochi mitzacha lemor patoah Titach et yacha le'afika le'arniecha Levionka, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Thereafter, prayer for Lily on reaching this occasion. Yishaberach Avotinu Abraham Yitzhak Yaakov Yimotinu Torah Rekarecho V'Leah V'Yivarechet V'Yet V'Yigel V'Mitzvot Dal Hayom L'Chvod HaMakom L'Chvod HaTorah L'Chvod HaShabbat L'Chvod HaChodesh HaKadosh Baruch Hu Yishmerecha V'Yechayeha V'Yivonenu L'Balayot Shalem Im Adonai Elohecha L'Ago T'Torato L'Lecha V'Drachav Yishmor mitzvotav liyot amitza limtzo et yehuda liyot isha ohevet v'ahova v'nehayom l'chol yom l'chen chesed v'rachmi v'nech b'nei koro'eha shlach bracha v'tzlacha b'chol ma'aseh yadeha yiratzon yizku ho'echa l'gadla l'torah l'chukah l'ma'asim tovim v'nomar amen. May the one who blessed our ancestors Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob bless Lily, who has been called up to the Torah this morning with reverence for God, the Torah, and the Shabbat. May the Holy One protect and sustain her, help her to be wholehearted, to live with integrity, to learn Torah, to walk in God's ways. May she have the strength to find her calling, to be a person who is both loving and beloved. May she find love and compassion today and every day in your eyes and in the eyes of all who see her. May her parents continue to rear her to maturity, guiding her to a love of learning, to a relationship worthy of blessing, and to a life of good deeds. And let us say, Amen. I'd like to invite up to raise and address the Torah, Lily's father and brother, and have the congregation please rise. Bezod Torah Asher Samosha B'nei Bnei Yisrael Adonai V'yam Eich Na'im V'Achati Imam V'Tom V'Nodenu So back in the Burgundy books, for each portion that we read out of the Torah, many, many years ago, a couple thousand years ago, the rabbis selected a portion known as the Haftarah. Haftarah means an additional reading, and the Haftarah often is a theme, so it comes from the second section of the Hebrew Bible, which is the books of the prophets. And it often complements something raised in the Torah. But this week, we're in the middle of the series. There are 7 Haftarah portions for each of the 7 weeks that go from Tisha B'Av, which is a day that remembers the destruction of the temple in Jerusalem, the exile of the Jewish people, the saddest day of the Jewish year. And we count 7 weeks till Rosh Hashanah, to the new year, and a time of new hope and possibility. And during this time, we have 7 portions known as the Shevet and the Chemta, the 7 portions of consolation. They all come from the book of Isaiah, and they are all about the promise of hope in difficult times. And you can follow along. It's on page 1085 in your book. I'll do the blessing first. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher b'char v'tovim v'ratzav v'divrei emet amarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai Habocher v'torah v'shato v'Yisrael amo v'ginviei ha'emet v'tzedek. Aniyah sorah lo nuchama hine Elohim margis v'apuch avanayich v'siretayich v'sapirim v'sampi v'kadkod shimshotayich v'sha'arayich v'avnei ektash v'chol gedulech v'avnei chefetz Kol banayich limudei Adonai b'rav shalom banayich b'tzedakah v'konani rataki me'oshek kivot yira'i umim chita kilot yikrav elayich hein gur yagur efes me'oti Migar itach alayich people hinenochi barati harash nofeach be'esh hechem techan motzi cheli lamaasehu banochi barati mashchit lechabel Kokeli yutzar alayich lo yitzlach B'chol hashon takumi tachla mishpat tarshi zot nachalat avdei Adonai utzi betzitam eitinum Adonai. Oh, all who are thirsty, come for water. Even if you have no money, come buy food and eat. Buy food without money, wine and milk without cost. Why do you spend money for what is not bread, your earnings for what does not satisfy me? Give heed to me, and you shall eat choice food, and enjoy the richest viands. Incline your ear, and you shall be received, and I will make with you an everlasting covenant, the enduring promise of loyalty promised to David. As I made him a leader of peoples, a prince and commander of peoples, so shall you summon a nation you did not know, and a nation that did not know you. For the sake of the Lord your God, the Holy One of Israel, who has glorified you. Ein goy lo teda tikra, vegoy lo yitarucha, elecha yarutzu, Laman Adonai Elohecha, Likosh Yisrael, Kifei Ara. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Shorachol, Tzaddik v'chol hadorot, Ha'el ha'ne'eman ha'omer v'yosem edaber v'kein shekod v'varav, Emet v'tzedek, Ne'eman atahu Adonai Eloheinu anachnu Moshe, Eloheinu v'ne'emanim devarecha v'devar echad midvarecha, Asor lo yeshuv rekam, Ki al melech ne'eman v'rachman atah, Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el ne'eman b'chol devarav. Ra'hem al Tzion ki beit chayenu, al vad nefesh toshia b'mirav yameinu, Baruch atah Adonai, v'sameach Tzion b'banecha. Nam keinu Adonai v'roya v'viyadecha, malchut beit David v'shichecha, b'meira yavo v'yagel eveinu, al kiso lo yeshav zaru, v'lu anacharim et vodo, Yivashem Kachakanish Batalot Kilo Ben Yavo Leolam Vaed Baruch Atah Adonai Magin David Ala Torah V'Ala Vodah V'Dim B'Yom HaShabbat Hazeh Shenatata Lanu Adonai Elokeinu V'Tishavu Menucha Lechabodu V'Tifaret Ala Kol Adonai Eloheinu Anachnu Modim Lach U'Mevarachim Otach Yiparashim Kaver people, Kai Kamid Leolam Vaed, Baruch Atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Put these back. Prayer. Turning the Torah to the end, page 374. We rise as a Hallelujah, Hashem Adonai, Ki niskav shemo levado, Hodo al eretz v'shamayim, Vayaren keren le'avot, V'hila le'kol chasidam, V'nei Yisroel angeramo, Hallelujah, Hallelujah. Mizmor David, Abu Adonai B'nei, Abu Adonai Kavod Ba'os, Abu Adonai Kavod Shemot, Kishachar Adonai Kavod Kol Adonai Olayim Kavod Yirim, Adonai Olayim Pravim, O Adonai, O Adonai, Adonai, Yomer Arajim, Yisrael Adonai, Arshim Havanon, Vayakidem Kavod Yalvanos, Tziyon Kamod and Retnim. Kol Adonai, Kotze Babodesh, Kol Adonai, Yachil Midbar, Yachil Adonai, Midbar Kadesh, Kol Adonai, Kol Adonai, Devasam Yerushalayim Hamot Kulo Omer Kavod, Adonai Hamavu Yashar, Vayeshev Adonai Melech Leolam. Adonai, Oz Le'am Moishe, Adonai, $374. Ilakat tov natati lachem, orati alchatozu. Etayim lemata sikipa, betom lechem, Shalom. Shiveinu Adonai Elam Mashua Kadesh Kadesh Yodenu
My Torah portion is centered around the concept of a needy person and our responsibilities to them if they should be in contact with us. A few lines in, God struggles to comprehend why the needy would exist among you, since he has provided enough resources for each individual. This poses the question, what are our responsibilities to the needy should they exist? According to God, there shall never be a needy among you, since he blessed your land. However, he then later states that if there is a needy among you, you must treat them with kindness and lend them what is necessary to meet their needs. While God has no problem deciding whether or not to lend help to the needy, he has a difficult time conquering the fact that needy may exist among us despite his efforts to provide for the individuals. Just as in our Torah portion, we see God struggling with the decision of whether or not needy shall exist among us. So too, in our lives, important decisions must be made for the betterment of individuals. Life is not easy, and while some people do have it better off than others, it does not mean that important decisions can simply be avoided. Although God was presented with a decision that he struggled to overcome, that does not mean that we can spend our whole lives making decisions that could very well possibly reroute our lives one way or another. I'll give a short example. This summer, my school offered 2 trips, a trip to Washington, D.C., and an 8-day river trip down the Salmon River. Both were rescheduled to 2022 due to COVID. Right off the bat, I knew that Washington, D.C. was my gym. Even though I have been there multiple times, a lot of my friends were going, and I knew it would be so much fun with a different group, especially according to what my brother had said about it. Contrarily, the river trip was a once-in-a-lifetime experience, but that I probably would never be able to do. But only 3 people from my grade were going, and it occurred a week before I left for Spain, so it's not best timing. Now, do not get me wrong, this decision definitely would not change the course of my life, but to me, it was very important how I spent my summer. In the end, I decided to choose the Washington, D.C. trip, but definitely understanding the pros and cons of each helped me narrow down my decision and pick the best one for me. Now, on a larger scale, I hope you have all read or are familiar with Harry Potter, because making important decisions is definitely a recurring theme throughout the novel. Right from the start, Harry makes a mix of good and bad decisions, wanting to work alone while also asking for help. One of Harry's most important decisions was in book 1, when he took the brave decision to chase after Ron's Remember-All after Malfoy threw it into the tree. Now, this decision could have very well gotten him expelled, however, it actually landed him a spot on the Quidditch team, a huge part of the novel going forward. Because of this risky decision at such a young age, Harry got much more flying practice than any other, which he not only needed for the Triwizard Tournament, but also for many other times when it was a matter of life and death. This example proves that any decision, small or large, has an impact on your life, and having confidence in those decisions allows for control rather than a loss of it. In the end, while at first God was wavering on his decision, he was able to come to a consensus by the end of the portion, saying that if there is a needy among you, you must care for them, but it shall not happen as he has blessed your land. His final answer shows his confidence in what our responsibilities to the needy should be, as well as the importance of decision-making when it comes to whether or not the needy shall exist among you, posing as a model for others to follow. I just want to thank you all for coming. I really appreciate it. I also want to thank my tutor, Rachel. She's not here today, but she really helped me do this in a short period of time. And then I also want to thank my parents, because they helped me get through this, and it was a lot of laughing at home while we were practicing. And then I also want to thank Rabbi Dan, who was very helpful in these last couple of weeks, and I love meeting this service with you. Thank you.
I'm gonna invite your parents up to share some words with you.
Charlie, when you get up here. All right. So at 14 months old, Lily could count to 10 in Spanish. At a year and a half, she jumped on a radio flyer and rocketed down our driveway with no fear. Lily was always a go-getter. And today she runs her own pet sitting business. She runs track for high school, running more than 300 miles this summer. She volunteers at the zoo. She's a second-degree black belt in Taekwondo. And she's about to study in Spain for a semester. So last fall, when she said she wanted to earn her bat mitzvah, I wasn't surprised. She has done all of this on her own. I didn't have to drag her kicking and screaming to Hebrew school, which was really nice. Lily, I'm incredibly proud of you. Do you want me to cry? Because more than anything, you're so much fun. You're kind and you're loving. I love that about you. And when I grow up, I want to be just like you. Thanks to Lee and to Rachel for helping tutor her, and to the whole congregation. I appreciate everything. You've been so kind. And to all of you who are such dear, close friends and family, I love you all.
Thank you to the congregation. Thank you to Lee. Thank you to Rachel. Thank you to Rabbi Dan. I'm thankful this morning because of that. Just wasn't part of it. Like that. You got this. Thankful for the matriarch, Dory, who's here. Thankful for the family that traveled here. Thank you for the friends from Bend who traveled here. Thank you for my family. Dang it. Yeah. I'm thankful for a lot of friends that have been here from the beginning, from the family that's been here from the beginning, for the teachers that are here, for the friends that welcomed us when we came back to Boise, for the people that teach me and that I learn from a lot, from deep family friends to where we are now. And to all Lily's friends. One thing about her, she's very brave. I like this, she's motivated, but I call it the fire. She has that fire for those that know her. Because once she gets started on something, you just have to get out of the way. Because we didn't have to cajole, we didn't have to plead, we didn't have to bribe for her to do this. This was all on her own. Because you were driven to follow this path. And that means that it called to you and that you answered it, which I thought was pretty interesting because listening to that voice that will continue to serve you really well. And when you're in Spain, listen to that voice because it opened these doors, right? In the ways that you're just now starting to learn about. So I encourage you to trust the voice because it brings you family. It brought friends to you and this friendship and support, and it will ultimately bring you love and light.
So Lily, your Torah portion you've read from so beautifully is a kind of lesson in leadership. It's the story of Moses, who was the greatest leader in the history of the Jewish people, passing on to the next generation what they will need to know, passing on to those who have assisted him, especially Joshua, what he will need to lead the people. And one of the things that is at the heart of being a good leader is what you spoke about, which is the ability to make decisions. To see that life is complicated, because if life was not complicated and it was always clear, making decisions would be easy. But making decisions is hard because there are pros and cons, benefits and challenges, pretty much always, no matter what you decide. But to have the courage to decide and the wisdom to weigh and think about all the different pieces of the decision, it's a great gift. And you've shown it both in the decision that you spoke about in your Devar Torah, but I want to take you back to an earlier decision, which was your decision to have a bat mitzvah. Because it was, as your parents have said, entirely your decision. That wasn't the way when I became a bar mitzvah. I was never given really a choice of that. It was just, foreordained that it would happen. And that's how it is for, I think, a lot of people. But something that you choose, because this is a day that wasn't a given, it's a day because you chose to make it happen, really makes it all the more special. The other piece of leadership that Moses shows constantly in his 40 years is his love for the people. They're difficult. They complain most of the way through the wilderness. They're demanding. And Moses sometimes gets frustrated with them, as we all do with one another at one time, sooner or later. What keeps Moses going through 40 years in the desert, through lots of kvetching, complaining, lots of wrong turns, is that he deeply loves and cares for the people that he is leading. Without that love, his decision to become a leader would not have taken him so far, and he would have burned out and quit and walked away. And your capacity for love and compassion that you show to your family and to your friends, and that all of us who know you see in such abundance, will go along with your ability to weigh and make decisions, to lead those who look to you. People will look to you for inspiration and for strength and for direction. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha, may God bless you and keep you. Yair Adonai panav elecha v'yichunecha, may God's face shine on you. May God be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yisimcha shalom. May God's face be raised up to you, and may you be blessed always with the gift of integrity, of wholeness, and peace. In Yiratzu. I want to invite our congregational board president, Mark Travis, to make a presentation to you.
Shabbat Shalom. On behalf of the community, I'd like to welcome everyone to Congregation Ahavat Beth Israel. Welcome. And to Lily, congratulations. You've done a wonderful job. You and your family have much to be proud of. On behalf of the congregation, I'd like to present you with a certificate, which is signed by the rabbi, something for you to keep and remember this day, and also a Kiddush cup, which you're welcome, which is for you to use during Shabbat, and so that you remember the congregation throughout your Jewish observance. Again, Mazal Tov, and thank you.
And we usually, at a bar and bat mitzvah, welcome the bat or bar mitzvah to our teen group. You're already part of the group, but Zelda, you want to come on up, and Jonah want to join and offer a presentation?
So Mazel Tov, you did an amazing job. Not as cool as the Kiddush cup and the certificate, but we have a shirt for you. We're super happy to continue to have a new team group, and we love your presence. You're so fun and cool, and thank you, man.
Back in March, we went to a Nifty event. For those of you who don't know, Nifty is a thing where just a bunch of Jewish teens from around Northwest America just kind of get together and mess around. It was her first event as an 8th grader. It's for like 8th to 12th graders. Okay, as a 9th grader, it was her first time, and she met like 100+ new Jewish teens for the first time and befriended like all of them.
Everyone's favorite.
Yeah. And that was like, it was so amazing to watch, and we're really excited to have you.
finally, I wanna share your tutor, Rachel Bichette, who is also our teen group advisor together with her husband, Ben. I think they had to be back east, I think for a wedding, but Rachel gave me something to share. So this is from Rachel. Lily, congratulations on this milestone. It's been such an honor being your tutor. I have so enjoyed getting to know you better through this process. You have amazed me at every turn with how quickly you pick up new material and how hard you work. And the fact that you chose to go through this process to feel more connected to the Jewish community gives me so much hope and faith for our collective Jewish future. I'm sorry I can't be there today, but know I'm thinking about you and sending you a long-distance hug. Soak in all of this joy and all the happiness that surrounds you, and know that you will always have a home here at Academy. From Rachel. So the concluding portion of our service, we're going to continue with Aleinu, for which we rise as able. And it's on page 586. Be seated. It's 598 and 9. Think now of our loved ones whose death is taken from us, those who have died recently, those who have died at this season in years past, and all those we have drawn into our hearts together with our own. But anyone who has anybody who they are especially remembering this time, mourners, if you would like to speak the names of anyone you're holding close.
Carrie S. Rich. Rita Wilson. Larry Stern. Larry Stern, Pamela White. Larry Stern, Mel Galbert. Fellas, Avalon. Bitter.
Zichronam Livracha, may their memories and may the memory of all those who we have held dear be an abiding blessing. We're calling them and all those of our congregation, community, family, friends who have died in the season. I invite the mourners and all whose custom it is to rise for Kaddish, page 590. Yitgadal, Yitgadash, Shemera, Yalman, Yikra, Yitzhak, Yitzhak, B'chayim, Yom Tom, B'chayim, Holy Israel, Adonai, Yisrael, Yitru, Yiteshme, Rabba, Yitbarak, Yishabat, Yitzhar, Yitzhalam, Yitzhak. Yitadak, Yitzhanan, Chalal, Shmei, Yishab, Kriya. Le'elam, Yiko, Yirachata, Shirata, Duzrakata, V'nadimah, Tamiran, V'yamah, V'yamru, Amen. Yehei Shalom, Rama, V'yishmaya, V'chayim, Amen, V'yoko, Yisrael, V'yamru, Amen. Osei Shalom, V'yamah, V'yasei Shalom, Amen, V'yoko, Yisrael, V'yamru, Amen. May the one who makes peace on high, let peace descend on us, on all Israel, and all the world. May comfort you with all the mourn, and let us say, Amen. Mazel tov, Lily, to you, to your family. Thank you to Eddie, who has done the work of setting us up. If you're streaming, Eddie, of course, is also why you can see us and hear us. And Eddie and Isabel have prepared a beautiful lunch across the way. So we invite you immediately after our closing song. Will be Kiddush, the blessing over the wine, the bread, the day. I think outside, and then inside for lunch. And we had a special closing song. Lily's been holding this one close as a surprise. So
I'm so excited, guys. All right. But if you Thank you. That was cute.
And actually, which we never heard of. Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it was.
Oh, yeah. Present party. And the president on their last backpack. It had tried it. But they couldn't get them. Carry to get them out. Yeah. Oh, yeah, well, they all like, yeah. Actually, the first one. Yeah, they do. Yeah. Thanks, Scott. Very. After that. Waiting. You know, you're more likely to get, you get in your car, you're more likely to get in a car. Oh, yeah. Maybe you're in yes. I sure was.
Oh my gosh.
And now I need to find a get my card. What I did?